All right, action. Good morning from the hammock tarp inside the Nemo Moonwalk sleep system, and the Grand Trunk Arbigo tarp is over me. And for those that don't know an Arbigo, it's a big diamond shape. I call it a hammock tarp, but they don't really refer to it. They kind of refer to it as a multi-use tarp because it has a lot of tie-outs and stuff. You can see the diamond wing there that comes in. I utilize some different tie-outs. I just haphazardly set it up at first, and then it was sleeting. It turned from kind of ice to rain, but about 2 in the morning I kind of tightened it up a little bit now, and kind of reutilized some ties. And then right now it's like noon or something. I really liked I like having a hood on my sleeping bag, but don't get me wrong, this Moonwalk's only rated for like 30 Fahrenheit. Really warm though. All of it's 30. You know, it isn't that, oh, it says 30 and you get cold when it's 40. But I liked how it has this Gore-Tex or waterproof foot. Normally in the summer that gets a little clammy. You see a lot of these Nemo sleeping bags are kind of gray at the foot. Well, I used it like at 2 in the morning, it was sleeting and raining. I went and walked to Granny's house and got some extra ties. I didn't put on my raincoat. I was wet. You know, you're sitting down, your pants are wet. It was nice to just sit down on the end of the sleeping bag and like take off my shoes. But yeah, I'll show you. I guess I'll show if it keeps recording. The battery's getting kind of dull. I've got this foam from Mountain Laurel Designs. Could use any foam, I suppose. Just say where I got this stuff. But it was like, I don't know, like 30 bucks for a good sized sheet of it. I've been using it, kind of piecing into my hammocks, but boy, it's nice to just kind of line the campsite with, because I picked a place where it's kind of full of rubble and, you know, dump trucks been dumping old chimneys, and, you know, you get some extra gravel, kind of like a state park would be. Like they have those really hard, or a campground, they have those really hard areas, a carp. Oh, get that. Rails to Trails sent me some socks. $22 donation. Oh yeah, so I like that. You know, it's a little struggle to get that. You're talking, people are like, why did they put a water? I always, you know, I was like, do you really need a waterproof tub? But if you're literally throwing the thing on the ground, like last night, there was some water pouring through here. I get it. And these aren't too bad. They do soak up a little water, but oh well, get on out. And I don't know. I just assume that the ridge line, these get wet and you gotta keep pulling them, you know. But they work good. See, I pull that and that gets a little tighter. And I put these, I think ultimately, this is the only side you need. But if you think about a tent, like I just was testing the Big Agnes, it's on there tight, the copper spur. And it came with like 7 stakes. But in reality, it needed like, I don't know, like 10 or 12 of them, it seemed like. So I just think for these ground shelters, having an array of stakes, they don't all have to be huge. And obviously those carbon fiber ones snap. Although that's what you can take on the airplane. Yeah, I just crawled in there, sat on that thing. There was some wind that was kind of like on the head end of it. The wind started really blowing pretty good and blew some. It didn't hit me really, it's just like I'd feel a little speck in the face. Wasn't really any misting or what do you call it, condensation where the water falls back and hits you and stuff. Once in a while, you know, I'd feel a little speck hit me, but I think it's because rain was really pouring off here and splashing on the leaf and hitting me. But I'm gonna keep it up. This isn't the first time I've had this out, but this is probably the harshest, being that it's probably about 40 Fahrenheit now, but last night it was literally ice hitting the top of it. And you just tighten it all up. It kind of, I didn't have a tightener on that. That would help it. I just kind of whipped some stuff up. You can see how you kind of can make a pretty cool shelter. Like if you had your other little line, you could do some different things. Most of the time where I am, I don't need a trekking pole. I did start the night out with just it tied to that railroad tie, and I felt it was sagging down too much. And when I say I don't need a trekking pole, there's like, where I'm from, millions of trees. So, but I'll let people go. Just a final look at it. I did just fine in there. It's got those corners, which are kind of nice. You could pull the leftover fabric over and just throw your jacket or shoes or paper towel or whatever you got, your backpack bag. You aren't throwing it right in the mud. It is still nylon, so like I said, and I put this thing away wet the other day. I got a little wet in hammock mode, and they take a while to dry, and it clocked in at, a good number of ounces heavier. So that's a heads up on still nylon. But for $100 from a Bass Pro, readily available, your tarp rips in some town and you gotta go get one. You got it, right? You can just kind of mess with these, and it tensions it up too. Like leave it a little to the side and then just quickly pull it straighter up. But yeah, we'll keep it up. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's nice sitting in that. It's a little work sliding that pad into the sleeve and everything. But I get it because it's made for the Apollo Nemo tarp. It was a whole system designed a number of years ago by Nemo called the Moonwalk. But they had Apollo, colorful name.